Welcome to Royal Coin Value. Today we are going to explore two fascinating American coins that hold both history and hidden value. At first glance, these coins may look ordinary, but each one carries a powerful story. The first coin is a golden-colored piece that honors George Washington, the very first president of the United States, and the second is a silver-colored coin that pays tribute to Susan B. Anthony, a pioneer for women's rights. In this first part of the video, we will dive deeply into the George Washington presidential dollar, looking at its design, history, special features, collector demand, errors, and value in today's market. The George Washington dollar was the very beginning of the presidential $1 coin program, which ran from 2007 until 2016. This program was a big step for the U.S. Mint, because for the first time it honored every U.S. president in order of service with their own $1 coin. George Washington, of course, being the very first president, was honored as the very first release in February 2007. Collectors were excited because this meant a brand new collectible series had begun. The coin's appearance is striking. Unlike older silver or copper dollars, this coin has a golden shine because of its manganese brass composition. The obverse side shows George Washington's portrait with bold lettering of his name and the phrase First President 1789 to 1797. The reverse side is equally eye-catching, featuring the Statue of Liberty holding the torch of freedom high with the inscription United States of America and the denomination of $1. But one of the most unique features was not on the front or back of the coin, but on the edge. For the very first time, the U.S. Mint added lettering around the edge instead of the face. The edge included the date, the mint mark, and the mottos In God We Trust and E Pluribus Unum. When the coin was first released, a minting problem created one of the most famous modern U.S. coin errors. Thousands of coins came out of the mint missing the edge lettering completely. Imagine holding a golden presidential dollar with no year, no mint mark, and no motto on the edge. These coins instantly became highly collectible. Some people found them directly in bankrolls and were able to sell them for huge profits. At one point, these missing edge lettering coins were selling for several $100s each, and even today they can still fetch strong prices depending on condition. Another type of error was double edge lettering. Instead of missing, the lettering was applied twice, sometimes overlapping in a way that looks very strange and collectible. These double lettering errors can also be worth a lot, sometimes reaching a few $100s when sold at auction. There are even coins where the edge lettering is upside down compared to the normal orientation, which also attracts collector interest. Now let's talk about the regular value of this coin. In circulated condition, the George Washington dollar usually only trades for about $1 to $2. But in uncirculated grades, where the coin is still bright and free from scratches, the value can be between $3 and $6. Proof coins, which were specially struck at the San Francisco Mint with mirror-like surfaces, are even more desirable. These proof versions can sell for $5 to $15 depending on grade. Collectors also pay more for high-grade certified coins, where the grading companies give them top marks like MS66 or MS67. In those grades, prices can jump into the tens or even hundreds of dollars. Auction records show how powerful these errors and conditions can be. For example, missing edge lettering coins graded by PCGS in mint state condition have sold for over $1,000. Even more common errors like doubled edges or partial edge lettering can still bring in hundreds. This proves that even a coin that looks modern and ordinary could secretly be worth a fortune if you happen to have the right variety. The presidential dollar series as a whole was an ambitious project. It produced coins for every president up until Ronald Reagan. While not every coin became popular in daily use, collectors saw the series as a historic set. The George Washington issue stands out as the first, and for many collectors it is considered the key coin of the series. That's why even common examples are often saved instead of being spent. Another interesting fact is the public reaction. Many Americans were excited to see a golden dollar coin again, since the Sacagawea dollar had already been circulating since 2000. However, there was also confusion. Some people didn't like that In God We Trust was on the edge rather than the front or back. The controversy actually became so strong that later in the series, starting in 2009, the motto was moved back onto the obverse where it would be more visible. That change makes the 2007 to 2008 coins even more unique because they were the only ones with the motto hidden on the edge. Collectors often want not only one George Washington dollar but several from different mints. The Philadelphia Mint produced coins with a P mint mark, the Denver Mint with a D mint mark, and the San Francisco Mint with an S mint mark for proofs. Each of these versions can carry a slightly different value, and building a complete set adds to the challenge. Some collectors even try to get one of each error type, like missing edge or doubled edge lettering, making the hunt even more exciting. If you are lucky enough to find one of these coins in your collection, the best step is to examine the edge carefully. Check for clear lettering, double impressions, or missing inscriptions. Even small differences can make a huge impact on value. Grading and authenticating through a trusted company like PCGS or NGC can protect your coin and maximize its resale potential. In conclusion, the 2007 George Washington Presidential Dollar is more than just a golden coin. It represents the beginning of an important U.S. mint program. It carries both history and symbolism, and it offers collectors some of the most interesting modern eras in American coinage. A regular coin might only be worth $1, but an era or high-grade example could be worth hundreds or even more. So always check your pocket change, your old coin rolls, or your family's coin jar. You never know when you might be holding a small piece of American history with a big value. Now let us turn our attention to the second coin, the 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar. At first glance, this silver-colored coin might look like just another dollar, but it carries both history and controversy. It was the first U.S. circulating coin to feature a real woman from history, and it tells a story of bold decisions, public reaction, and collector interest that still continues today. Susan B. Anthony was one of the most important leaders in the fight for women's rights in the United States. She dedicated her life to the movement that eventually secured women the right to vote. By the late 1970s, the U.S. Mint decided to honor her contributions by placing her portrait on a new dollar coin. In 1979, the Susan B. Anthony dollar was released, and for 3 years, 1979 through 1981, it was struck for circulation. It would return once more in 1999, just before the golden Sacagawea dollar was introduced. The coin we are looking at today comes from the year 1980, the second year of its production. The design of the coin is bold and symbolic. On the obverse side we see Susan B. Anthony's portrait facing right, with the word liberty at the top, the motto "In God We Trust" to the right, and the date 1980 below. Around the border there are 11 stars on each side, making a total of 24. On the reverse side is one of the most iconic American images, an eagle landing on the surface of the moon, with the Earth rising in the background. This design was adapted from the Apollo 11 mission insignia, a reminder of America's achievement in space exploration. The denomination $1 and the words United States of America surround the design. The coin is made of a copper-nickel clad composition, which gives it the silver-like appearance. It is smaller in size than the older Eisenhower dollars, only slightly larger than a quarter. This similarity to the quarter was one of the main problems with the coin. Many people confused it with a quarter in daily transactions, and because of that, the coin never became popular in circulation. Businesses, vending machines, and even the general public found it inconvenient, so the Susan B. Anthony dollar was widely considered a failure in circulation. But in the world of coin collecting, the story is very different. Because the coin had such a short production run and because it was the first to feature a real woman, collectors quickly realized its importance. The 1980 issue is especially interesting because it was minted in large numbers, yet still holds value depending on condition and mint mark. The coin was produced at 3 mints, Philadelphia with a plain P mint mark, Denver with a D, and San Francisco with an S. The San Francisco Mint also produced proof versions with sharp detail and mirror-like fields. In circulated condition, the 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar is usually worth between $1 and $2. But in uncirculated grades, where the coin is free of scratches and has full mint luster, the value can rise to $5, $10, or even $20 depending on grade. Proof versions from San Francisco can range from $5 to as much as $20 or $30, particularly in deep cameo grades where the contrast between the frosted design and mirrored background is very strong. High-grade certified examples can be worth much more. Coins graded MS66 or MS67 by professional grading companies often sell for $50 to $100. In rare cases, coins with superb strikes and almost perfect surfaces graded MS68 have sold for several $100s. This shows how important condition is in determining the value of modern coins. The Susan B. Anthony dollar is also famous for its error coins. Off-center strikes, where the design is not properly centered, can fetch impressive prices. Double-die obverse or reverse coins, where the lettering or design appears doubled, are also valuable. Wrong planchette errors, where the coin was mistakenly struck on a blank meant for a different denomination, can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. For example, some Susan B. Anthony dollars were accidentally struck on planchets meant for copper-nickel quarters, and these extremely rare pieces have brought thousands of dollars at auction. Another point of interest is the 1980 S proof coin. Collectors carefully check the mint mark style, because in 1979 there were 2 varieties of S mint mark, called Type 1 and Type 2. While the 1980 issue does not have as dramatic a variation, proof coins from San Francisco are always desirable and tend to be more valuable when preserved carefully in their original cases. Even though many people think of the Susan B. Anthony dollar as unpopular, in reality it is a cornerstone in modern U.S. coinage history. It represented a major step forward by honoring a woman, it was linked to America's space achievements through the Apollo 11 reverse design, and it paved the way for later small-sized dollar coins like the Sacagawea dollar and the Presidential Dollar series. For collectors today, the 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar offers both affordability and opportunity. Beginners can collect circulated examples for just $1 or $2, while advanced collectors can chase high-grade certified coins or rare errors worth hundreds. If you have one of these coins at home, it is worth taking a closer look. Examine the surfaces carefully, check the mint mark, and if it looks especially sharp and unmarked, consider having it graded. You might be surprised at how much it is worth. Both the 2007 George Washington Presidential Dollar and the 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar remind us that even modern coins can hold significant value, both financially and historically. They tell the stories of leadership and change, of presidents and pioneers, of American tradition and progress. These coins may not always be rare in numbers, but in the right condition or with the right era, they can be worth far more than their face value. Thank you for watching Royal Coin Value. I hope you enjoyed learning about these two fascinating coins from American history. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, give a thumbs up, and share it with your friends. Don't forget to comment below which coin you found more interesting and if you have any of these in your collection. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and always remember that even the smallest coin could be hiding a big treasure.